Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are breaking down a truly massive story that is absolutely moving the market right now. We're looking at a monumental vote of confidence in the AI chip giant NVIDIA, and it's coming from one of the most influential forces in the entire tech world. We're going to unpack the incredible numbers, the latest Wall Street analyst calls, and exactly what could come next for this absolute tech behemoth. But to really understand the gravity of today's news, we have to start by looking at the sheer scale we're dealing with here. NVIDIA has completely reclaimed its position as the world's most valuable company. Just think about this number for a second. A $5.33 trillion market cap. I mean, it is just staggering. We are talking about a scale of wealth and corporate valuation that is literally reshaping how we view the entire tech sector. So with a valuation that massive, it naturally begs a pretty major question, right? Are we at the peak, or is this incredible AI rally actually just getting started? Well, today's market catalyst might just give us that answer, and it's a narrative you absolutely need to be following. All right, let's dive into our first section, the catalyst. SpaceX goes all in. Okay, so here is the headline sending shockwaves through the market today. Elon Musk and SpaceX are making a massive, exclusive commitment to NVIDIA chips to build out their artificial intelligence infrastructure. And Musk, he did not hold back on his praise for NVIDIA's next-generation Vera Rubin architecture. He specifically called it the best AI computer and really emphasized how much SpaceX values its close, multi-level partnership with the company. You know, when one of the leading innovators on the planet publicly validates your tech like this, Wall Street definitely pays attention. And this isn't just some casual endorsement on social media. There is serious, massive capital backing this up. In the second quarter alone, SpaceX's AI infrastructure spending jumped to nearly $16 billion. That's more than double what they spent just one quarter prior. And compared to a year ago, that is a mind-bending 2,000% increase. It really just shows you exactly how aggressively SpaceX is moving to lock down NVIDIA hardware. Which brings us to our next section, AI supercomputers in space. So, what are they actually doing with all of this hardware? Well, they're taking artificial intelligence straight out of science fiction and putting it into space. The two companies are jointly developing the compute payload for the Starmind AI-1 satellite. Once this thing is deployed in low Earth orbit, it's going to process AI workloads directly in space using NVIDIA's Vera CPUs and a Rubin NVL72 rack, which, by the way, contains 72 GPUs. And incredibly, all of this massive computing power is going to draw its energy entirely from solar power while navigating in a sun-synchronous orbit. It is just a phenomenal feat of engineering. But get this, that single satellite, it's just the tip of the iceberg. SpaceX has a truly staggering vision here. Their ultimate goal is to grow this orbital network to 1 million satellites. By linking them all together, they are essentially aiming to create a massive, distributed AI supercomputer right above our heads. As for the timeline, they have prototype testing scheduled for early 2027, with mass production expected later that same year. Okay, let's bring it back to Earth for Section 3, Stock Price and Market Action. A technological leap of this magnitude naturally caused a huge stir in the markets. Immediately following this news, NVIDIA shares surged more than 4%. The stock hit roughly $221 per share, and that extended a really impressive winning streak for the company to 4 consecutive trading sessions. The market clearly loved what it heard about this exclusive SpaceX partnership. But you know, it's not just the immediate percentage jump that has investors talking. It's the underlying technical signals. NVIDIA's successfully rebounded from its 200-day moving average and actually managed to clear its 50-day moving average. In the financial world, a lot of analysts look to these specific technical indicators as a key early entry point for a stock. To really understand the significance of this price action, we need a little context. Back in May, the stock was just flying high, hitting a record of $236. But then, we saw a pretty notable spring pullback, with shares dropping down to around $164. So this recent surge back to $221, it represents a highly significant recovery from those spring lows. Let's pivot to Section 4, Wall Street's bullish consensus. So is NVIDIA still a buy at these recovered levels? Well, the analyst community is overwhelmingly bullish right now. According to a poll of 61 analysts by S&P Global, a massive 58 of them currently have either a buy or strong buy rating on the stock. Only 2 are sitting at a hold rating, and literally just 1 single analyst has a strong sell. That is a remarkably unified front from Wall Street. And when we look at the specific price targets from the heavyweight firms, that optimism becomes even clearer. The average price target across the board sits around $303, which is roughly 43% above current levels. Just days ago, Bernstein and Wells Fargo both reiterated targets of $315, while Needham has set a target of $270. And Needham's target? That's driven by a massive projection. They are forecasting that 91,000 racks of NVIDIA's next-generation Vera Rubin data processors will ship in the year 2027 alone. That is a colossal volume of extremely advanced high-margin hardware hitting the market. In fact, Needham's base case scenario, meaning their standard, totally expected outcome, is that continuing strength in data centers will propel NVIDIA to exceed a $1 trillion revenue target on Rubin sales alone through 2027. But we've got to be objective here. Section 5. Potential risks and headwinds. Look, no market story is a total fairy tale, and as smart investors, it is absolutely crucial to impartially map out the potential headwinds. Right now, we have a fascinating contrast in market sentiment. On one side, you've got NVIDIA's CEO Jensen Huang projecting extreme confidence, recently stating in Tokyo that Vera Rubin is already in production with giant amounts of production incoming. But on the flip side, you have famous investors like Michael Burry, the guy known for predicting the 2008 housing crash, who remains highly skeptical of the AI boom and has actually purchased put options betting against NVIDIA. So what are those real risks? Well, first off, there are lingering questions about demand sustainability. Is this rapid infrastructure spending a long-term reality, or are we just seeing a bubble? Coupled with that are financing risks tied to NVIDIA's major infrastructure customers. Furthermore, geopolitical risks remain a massive factor. Stringent export controls on AI chips to China have actually spawned an emerging great market in Southeast Asia, which in turn really elevates the regulatory and compliance risks for NVIDIA moving forward. All right, wrapping things up, NVIDIA is clearly riding an incredible wave of momentum right now, backed by SpaceX, new space-bound architectures, and a fiercely bullish Wall Street. But with those very real risks looming in the background, all eyes are turning to the immediate horizon. The ultimate test for this company, and honestly perhaps for the entire AI trade, is approaching rapidly. What exactly will the August 26 earnings report reveal? It's a date that could define the market's next major move, and a story you will absolutely want to keep following. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and we'll see you next time.